Vivo Malaysia announced the V20 series not too long ago. They got the base V20 and also this one, the V20 Pro. So today, let's take a look at the V20 Pro and see what's special. So let's start off with the design of the brand new Vivo V20 Pro. So as you can see here, it's a very sleek body, real thin and also really tough in terms of what I can feel. And it is using a hazy matte finish for the back. It's also made out of glass. And overall, it's just really nice to hold. Yeah, and it also has this textured power button, by the way, which is a nice touch, especially since you got the volume rocker and the power button on the same side, so you can just feel it and see which one is which. And then for the display, now we got a 6.44-inch AMOLED display here with 1080p in resolution, and it supports HDR10 as well. And I really don't see any issues with it. It's bright enough, the colors are good, vivid, and as usual, since it's using an AMOLED display, you got an under-display fingerprint scanner here, which I personally do not prefer. I prefer either at the side or at the rear. And for some reason, they decided to go back to this kind of big notch for the screen. Yeah. Now, speaking of the notch, you do have a dual selfie camera here, but I'm not too much of a selfie person, so I'll just show you some sample pictures. And as for the rear-facing cameras, you got a total of 3 of them, but only 2 of them are usable. So you got a main 64 megapixels f1.9 main camera with PDA-F, and then another 8 megapixel f2.2 ultra wide angle camera, which I think they both can take some nice looking pictures, and honestly the colors are good. I really don't have anything to complain about in terms of that rear camera, and especially in gloomy days like this where you don't have harsh shadows, pictures just look amazing. Now for the battery life, it comes with a pretty tiny, in today's standard, 4000 mAh battery, and it also comes with a 33 watt charger. The battery life does last quite a long time thanks to the chipset, and the charger though, it's surprisingly big for a 33 watt charger. I don't know why, and it can charge from 15 to 100% in about an hour, which is not as fast as I'd expect from a 33 watt charger, but well, there you go. And now for the software, the Vivo V20 Pro comes equipped with the FunTouch OS, which actually works fine. I don't have any major complaints, but I do wish that the Jovi Home, or is it Hovi Home? I don't know how it's pronounced. The Jovi Home button should be located elsewhere and not at where it's supposed to be right now, because currently, if I hit into the settings menu, I will just drag down from the side 2 times for that quick settings menu and then tap on that specific location to head into settings. But Vivo decided to replace the settings button with the Jovi Home button. I wish there's a setting to actually just change this around. Now for the specs and performance, I won't really go in depth into it because it is not the first time we've encountered such specs. For the Vivo V20 Pro, it is equipped with the Snapdragon 765G, 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, and in terms of performance, it is exactly the same as the Vivo X50 Pro, which we have reviewed not too long ago, and you can also check it out at the top right corner there. Because in terms of core specs, they are both identical. And actually, come to think of it, X50 Pro and the V20 Pro is very similar. Even the whole design here is more or less very similar, I would say, if not identical. The camera cutout is just that the X50 Pro is slightly bigger and also has the gimbal-like functionality for the main camera, but not on the V20 Pro. And yeah, in terms of pricing, well, of course, the Vivo X50 Pro with that experimental gimbal-like feature is gonna be much more expensive at 3,199 ringgit, whereas this one is nearly half of that price at only 1,899 ringgit. So if you are already thinking to get the Vivo X50 Pro but you don't really want that gimbal feature, you just like the design overall, well, you might want to consider the Vivo V20 Pro because it's looking more or less identical. It's just that this one costs a lot less, just that it doesn't have that experimental gimbal feature. So the videos, if you want to watch video, this thing still looks amazing. But if you want to create videos, I do prefer you to get the Vivo X50 Pro instead because the gimbal functionality It's going to help a lot in creating smooth panning, tilting, and also, what's the last one again? Yaw, tilt, pan. Either way, if you want to create videos, get the X50 Pro. If you just want to watch videos, get this. And that's all we have to say about the Vivo V20 Pro. I hope you like this video, and if you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.